I'm sure he's 45, 44 now. Turn the heating off.
Huh? One, two, 1, 2.
I'll probably tell it off.
Good, good.
Yeah, the front two wouldn't want the way you're wearing glasses or not. Put them driving positive, you know?
Tell the way you head, give me one hand.
He's out there wearing high necks and bear. You don't want to hell over here.
Cheers.
Among your souvenirs.
Andy, I was just thinking, for all the dressing up the table, stick a couple of beers on it.
See you put the poor spout glass in there.
Just make sure we're always talking to the next. I'll pick you up.
I've used them like anyway with singing.
Huh? Oh, right enough. He's an expert. I wake up to this man every Christmas Day, roaring and shouting in the chapel.
Richie, what do you call that guy's doing it here?
Andy McGibbon.
Andy, see if they wanted them to check. Could you hear them? No.
There's some ways practice.
Oh, I know, right? I know, right? As I say, we'll do the dirty bins.
Right, keep it short.
You can smell the shit.
I just so you ain't never ladies' clothing, you know, underwear things, but they also on Ashland hanky.
Yeah. No problem at all.
Leave it open to the boys here all the way there. I've said let the boys on sort of places. They were part of it.
Just straight out the door there. None of them boys playing.
I don't think so. None of them boys played down here. She didn't. All them boys did knock on the park. Twins and all them did it. But we no changing facilities. We no water. We no showers. Which we changed on the evening.
Yes, upstairs in the Mayhead.
Oh, they played there. But remember, Jordan, all the showers up.
I got the showers up. We got twice in the Beehive.
Probably here, Jorge.
Here did I? Must have heard of it.
Marshall has it. Who are we waiting on?
Who? Marty who?
Marty Hammond.
That's Martin.
That's Martin there. I called right to the toilet.
Paul.
Get Paul back in, then we'll go. We'll get Paul back in, then we'll go.
Here's up the subs bench over there. Just like the right hand. Right, sit down yourself. Yeah, get off from it. Come on. Just go out again. Swear to God.
Alright. What do you call your man works for the BBC and Derry? Does the sport and all?
Kieran Tourish.
Bastard.
Why?
He scored the goal
Scored the
again.
goal.
I know, sure, Gary never gets only kick he got her. Gary never gave him a kick on
And
it.
it bounced 50 times the court went into the net.
And he was the fastest winger, and Gary outpaced him.
Let's go save the goals for the podcast. Is that everybody in, boys? Mark, I didn't know you want to close that door or not. Boys, just before we kick off, listen, this is all laid back, it's all cool and groovy. We're here for a bit of crack ultimately. So interject as you need to. And we'll laugh and cheer and have a bit of crack, yeah. As long as Raj is going to the bar, I noticed you're sat close to the door.
No chance of that. Just fucking competition with him. And take them 2 hands up.
Oh, there we go. Tell you, that's the start of it.
Oh no, down in front.
Tell you about not putting them on the table until he sniffs them.
That's all right.
Right, boys, we'll kick on. Listen, thank you all for coming, really appreciate it. The podcast, some of you know about it, some of you don't. For me, it was born out of lockdown. So lockdown and the podcast called Keepie Uppies. So Keepie Uppies was an opportunity to catch up with old friends because we were in lockdown with nothing else to do and an opportunity to talk about football. This happened 2 years ago, over 2 years ago, September 2 years ago. And the first person I wanted to get on the podcast was Harry. Obviously, and the folklore that comes behind with Harry, with Oxford, etc., etc. I'm now in the privileged state that we've got round to doing it. So thank you, Harry, for agreeing. Again, the rest of us, thank you.
I've managed, we were in 7 junior cup finals. I was never nervous. I'm bloody nervous now.
Fantastic. So guys, again, it's about playing Keepie Uppies. It's remembering the good old days, catching up with old football friends. And again, hopefully this is the first time the podcast has ever been on camera, so we'll capture some of the football smiles. Alright? So we'll kick on, and again, interject and feel free to kick on as you want to. We're going to start off with Harry. I want to know, Harry, who's the boy behind the man? Who was your football idol growing up, and where did that passion for football come from?
My idol when I was growing up was, my team was Portsmouth, my favourite team, and they still are. And Pompey. And in goals for him was a Lurgan man called Norman New Pritchard, so he was my hero when I was growing up.
Very good. Now I
He
have
played for Northern Ireland in the Sweden World Cup.
I have a little story about a more recent Portsmouth player called David Nugent. Have you anything to tell us about that?
I was at Wembley Stadium in Portsmouth in the final of a League Cup. And this guy sitting beside me was a Liverpoolian. And he's talking away to me before the match and all. And he says, "We're from Ireland and all. Oh, great to see you over here and all." He said, "Where are you from?" He said, "I'm from Liverpool." I said, "Well, then you have your accent." And I had been very critical of a player called David Nugent playing for Portsmouth. I said he couldn't play TIG. And the guy sitting beside me introduced himself as David Nugent's dad.
So before we get on to the 7 junior cups that you referenced, what's your earliest football memory? Initially as a player.
As a player?
A long time ago, Harry.
I think I played for a wee team. It was my first job as a wee manager of a wee team. We came from Cafola George, and we call ourselves Cafola United, and I was their manager. And we played one match and we beat 5-0 at the tack field. I don't know who we beat us. I just don't. So that's it. That's my first early memory of playing
So
football.
as a player, the rumour has it you were a no-nonsense defender, an inside left, would that be right?
No. Left back, just like Chopper Horace. I done one thing at a Bridge years ago. As a wee fella came on, he runs around, he was speeding up and down the wing, and I says, "Hey boy, you was doing that with me." I says, "I tell you what thing," I says, "I'll break you. You'll not be able to do that." And the wee fella chucked away till outside left. Then after that, you see, well, I met him about 20 years ago, and I didn't recognise me. He says, "Hey boy, do you remember me?" I says, "No, I don't." He says, "I was the wee fella you scared the shit out of." He said, "Because he told me you'd years ago," and he says, "And a stinker of a match because I was worried about you coming after me."
Brilliant.
You were left back when the team was travelling,
Who said that? Who said that?
You're a mate, Morris.
Morris, I made your Oxford song famous.
So your playing career?
Playing-
Talk us through it. How did it get to, again, the establishment of Oxford United?
Well, I was playing in the Works League for Walbury Kitchens, and this wee fella called Derek McCullough was playing along with me. And he looked at me and he says, "I didn't know you could play football like that." I says, "Well, I was never classed as a good footballer. I didn't play any better than anybody else in the field that day." And so he came along to me and says, "There's a wee team called Seawright and Douglas and Lurgan." He says, "And they're going to go in the Middlesbrough League. They've been playing a lot of friendlies. Would you be interested in playing?" I says, "Oh, of course I would." So he told me to be down at Lurgan Park, certain date, and a certain time. And I seen all these players getting up round me and all over the road. And I just came down to the bike, and some fella came running over to me and he says, "You Harry Dickson?" I says, "I am." He says, "Well, you're playing for us, Seawright and Douglas." He says, "Come on, get into the cure now. We're playing over in Bridge Towns Ground." He says, "We're playing Bridge BBOB in a cup match." So I played in that match, and I was playing inside left, which was completely nothing I could ever handle. But anyway, during the match, as this fella came on, he was playing left back, and he's all left foot, and you called him Junior Mercer.
Oh, we all know Junior Mercer.
And Junior, we got a penalty. We're getting beat 1-0, and we got a penalty. And Junior took it with the left foot. And Junior ran up, and he took the penalty, and he put her wide. And I looked at him, and I says, "The hell did you take a penalty kick and you couldn't score from?" He says, "I sent the goalkeeper the wrong road anyway." I said, "But you didn't score." That was my first story. We were stuffed 5-1 or something that day, too. So every time I played, I've got beat.
So far, that's the tale.
Dixie, you only missed one penalty in the match, Martin. You next missed two.
You missed one that day.
No, the penalty shooting, you missed two. Excuse me, both just missed two.
No, we missed one.
No, you
I
missed
have to explain it to you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for pulling me out of a hole there.
No problem.
Here, remember the day up in 30 Peacock's Bar?
In Coleraine.
Yes, Morris.
Famous day.
Uh-huh.
That was, yeah.
Here, let's jump to that. That's an away day story.
You put drink and all.
Uh-huh.
We used to drink onto the bus and everything. 30 Peacock.
Go ahead, Mr. Chairman. You get on there.
Another Lurgan money.
We'll revisit the away day story in a wee second.
He must have COVID back.
So Seawright and Douglas then. That kicked on and then how did-
Seawright Douglas played away at Seawright and Douglas's, and then Lenny Davis was playing for us, Billy's bro, and he got Billy, and Billy came down and played for us. He just finished playing for Distillery, a good career with Glenavon too, and Billy has his memorial up there. He's and great secretary for us in our club, and a great man. He was along with Brady there. We were called the Divine Trinity, wasn't it? We were,
Call a few other things.
and the boys are all said, "I don't know why they have committee meetings, because them three boys will meet in the Beehive and whatever they say will go." That's that.
That's how committees work, right?
So what was the question you asked me
So
again?
with so Seawright and Douglas becoming Oxford
Oh,
United.
Leonard says, "I'm going to manage this team, and we're going to well, I went to CC Wright and Douglas as the management team, and they're going to give us no money. But we are advertising our name, so we're just going to change our name to something else, whatever, think of a name. So, Big Henry McDonald came down to me one day and he says, he had used to pay for our reserves or something. And he came over and he says to me, Leonard's looking at the name that James, what would do? He says, and I says, we're building Oxford Island out the road there. I says, we just call ourselves Oxford United then. So Roy Marshall came over and caught him unexpected at a meeting. So he says, I just said what you told me to do. He said, just Oxford United, and that's how we started. And then Billy Davis came on with playing it, but our skip was sky blue with a wee dark blue candy stripe. And Billy says, I can't see the players without their, he says, we'd have to get a white skip with red pants. He says, and white socks, because I can't recognise the players' feet. I don't know where he got that from. So that's how it should end up playing in white and red. And what do you call us now?
The white and red army, there it is there. Yeah, the white and red army. God loved the dry cleaners, that's all I can say.
We only needed one set.
And that on, Billy went on, and then we're getting stuff that we stuck at it, and we got a few players around us, and then the trouble started. We got Scobie Pitcher, Dirk, we Dirk, Scobie, Scobie, and Jim Blimber Wilson, and Brian Silcock, and players like that, and they improved the team, and we're doing it right. They were hurting their own, and then the troubles came, and Ballas just drifted away. We were a mixed club, mixed team. Ballas just drifted away. So it ended up with Jeremy Nash and me got the players to meet outside Jeremy Nash's house in Tegnavon every Saturday, and that's where we started off in the football. And there's a photo probably knocking around there, one of the first photographs of Oxford United, and I took the photograph, and I was doing the line, and we're playing at Loughgall, and Davy Hinney, you remember this? Loughgall beat us. You were in that photograph.
Yeah.
What should the score have been only for the referee robbing us?
We could have won 4-0. Easy.
And they ended up beating us, and we were raging by so. And that was.
But the grass was 18 inches long too.
Was it?
Oh aye. And the cows had.
What did Brady say about it?
Well, he was too busy jumping over the cows' dung in the field that day too. But no, we were definitely robbed that day. Everybody can say when you're beaten you were robbed, but robbed that day. I
can always remember another time too, Davy. We were playing Edenderry Blues over at Brownstown Park. Norman Donaldson was playing for an Edenderry Blues.
The quiet man.
And there's a shot took at you, Davy. Davy, this is getting at you like a wee bit here. And
what sort of shot?
Good one, Bisto.
What was I talking about there?
About me making a great save.
No. The fella took this shot, you did for it. Mickey Brady says, geez, Davy went down like a mist in an axe, man. And the ball ended up in the net. And I looked around, all the Edenderry Blues were down on their knees, stitching and laughing at Mickey's comment. But you didn't like the comment, did you?
No. Well, he was full of one-liners, but all the time, every match.
Harry, when you said your team was mixed back then, what do you mean you and ARS?
No. Catholic and non-Catholic.
Same thing.
So far, Harry, you've brought us through your early years, and you haven't won a game of football yet.
Well, we didn't win anything until 1978. Won the Alexander Cup over at Shamrock Park, and the big fella was a Lurgan fella playing left back for Red Lion that day called, you know him, Davey, what do you call him? Snowball Kelly. Snowball the Dal, like. And Mickey Brady is playing outside right. They're beating us 1-0 and we equalised. So it was near the last of the match. You see, Mickey Brady scored the winning goal and he says, take a look at Snowball there. He says, his legs is lapped up. He said, and knots there, about 2 double knots. He says, he couldn't handle me at all, he says.
No, it was full of one-liners all the time. But Harry, we won before that. We got promotion. Won the second division.
That's right. No, we came second in the second
Second
division.
division,
Downhill
yeah,
went
second.
up. Downhill went up. Downhill went up. Downhill we went up as runners up.
The first year we were runners up or won it, and we didn't go up.
That's right.
Because we couldn't afford to go up, and we hadn't a team. And
Well, nobody had cures.
with
Go
the
to the away matches.
no money, no fun. So it was
Not
the
all
best thing we
glamorous,
ever
it's
did.
not all
No,
glamorous.
it's not all glamorous. And
Well, it was the best thing we did, Richie, was stay that year.
Yeah.
You know, got ourselves together, and we formed a committee and
yeah.
got things going right. Needed to, or else it was fold.
So what year is that? 78?
No, it was
No,
about 75.
72 when but 78 was when we won the Alexander
Alexander
Cup.
Cup in
Okay.
the first division, but
So are you still playing at this stage or managing?
Managing.
Managing. So as for becoming the transition from a player to a manager, you boys, let's open to the floor. Was he a no-nonsense manager, like he was a no-nonsense left-back?
No problem. Was no problem. He done the business for me. I don't like. Yeah,
I'm going to wind them now.
Me and Danny Seeley were playing with Bob Bridge and how I dropped. He didn't drop me, and Danny said, well, we were back.
Freddie, you got me out of a holder a wee while ago there, but I says, no, your word dropped.
Well, remember, Richie, the match, me and Danny said he was on the line, and Bob was down there. Don't actually get dropped the nickel. Jesus. One of them boys have a nightmare, they get on that pitch. Anyway, boys are playing brilliant. They were beating Balderstown on their own pitch, 3-0 in the Rathbone Cup. I think it was the year we won it. And me and Danny says, like, fuck, Andy, we're not going to get on. Well, what give Harry wee nuts here? We've done press ups and fucking. What's the time ever? We're 3-0 up with 3 minutes ago, we still won breakfast. He didn't make any substitute. He says the boys are doing alright. He says,
So the war.
how many presses did you do? 50 in one arm and 60.
He clearly hasn't forgiven you, Harry. Clearly hasn't forgiven you.
no.
So, talk about the secret to your success. So, 1982, the very first Junior Cup. What's your standout memory?
Terry O'Hagan's scoring the winner. And that's it.
Brian McGowan knocking it down to him.
Pammy go knocking it down. And to be quite honest, the boys, it was awful conditions of playing that day, wasn't it? Marty Seeley, tell you. Marty had to hold the ball down. It was like a rugby thing for somebody to take a free kick.
Blowing a rip.
It was a win day. No, we had to play one half against the win and one half.
But Marty had to hold the ball across the win.
Aye. Because the wind was blowing off the spot. And the referee permitted it, you know, because it was blown away every time he.
He took that
Isn't that
kick.
right, Marty? You here, Marty?
Marty, you took the free kick from the halfway line. Near enough. And it was a struggle to get it up, and Brian headed down, Terry buried it.
And Mickey Beatty says he was in the stand and Moorby, he says, Harry, where'd you get through? Did you get through the window? He says, I've never seen a fella getting out on the pitch and cheering like all my life, he says. I says, I didn't. He says, you did?
No, it was a great
But
game.
we beat Australia 1-0. But my best memory of that Junior Cup was playing first banker at Old Boy at Moore Street, at Seaview. And everyone, I was part of it, Morris, so they first banker played in white just like us. So I had to go out into the centre circle with the referee and their captain and with toss for it, and I won the toss. So I just came back and I says, boys, I won the first battle. But I forgot to say, just 2 days before that night, 2 days before we played in the Shield final at Shamrock Park, and Yuri Shamrock beat us on penalties. And Roy Marshall came past me in the changing rooms, one of the changing rooms in Shamrock Park, and he says, "It'll take you to pay a bill better or not to beat Bangor Old Boys on Thursday night." I just looked at him and I says, "I'll show you what I'll show you. I'll say." So we got down to the Seaview and they were all right, going right on the pitch, and Shamey Turner was looking through the window. He says, "Hurry, hurry." I says, "What? They've all a ball each." And I says, "Hey, Billy, where's our ball? Give me it here." And he says, I give it, and I says, "See that there? That's one ball." I says, "What did the referee start the match with? One ball. What do you need two for?"
That was a great match, Harry.
It was a brilliant match.
They never gave the Bangor team a kick at it.
Supposed to beat them 3-0.
Ian Russell was the manager of Crusaders that time, and they had came back from their training, wherever it was, and I knew him, and he says, "Jeez, Davey, I could take 6, 7 of them boys right now." He says, "I've never seen a team like that in my life."
There's a wee man stand just along the wall at Seaview, and he's going down. He says, he's a wee dog, and he says, "Mr. Manager." I says, "What?" He says, "Could you bring that wee team back here every Saturday?"
No, Russell would have took 7 of them that night. He says, "No ball."
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Well, in my opinion, it's one of the best Oxford performances that I'd ever seen. And Davy Moore, God rest him,
Run the pitch.
he'd not make the same player 3 times in the one match. And I thought Oxford was one of the best football matches that Oxford have ever played, in my opinion. Like.
From 1 to 11, they were magnificent.
There was the manager of the first Bangor, about Stevie McGee can back me up here. That he remembers this, don't you, Stevie? Their manager come up to me in the dugout. He grabbed my hand, he shake it, and he put the on top of it, and he shaking my hand, and he says, "It's over." And I was going, what are you talking about? It's over. He says, "The match." I says, "It was not a 90-minute game." And he says to me, "Believe you me, it's over." We were winning 3-0. He said, "Believe you me, it's over." But I knew at my heart it was over, but I wasn't going to, you know. That's the sort of things they were saying about us, you know, we were that bloody good that night, you know.
Better than a junior team. So, over the 7 junior cup triumphs, which one, is there any particular triumphs that stick out?
Well, I was only managing a couple of them, you know, I retired, you know.
But you were on the sideline regardless?
Oh, but...
Open this up to the floor as well, anybody
wants to say anything about that? I had to play the junior cup finals.
84, Harry, when I joined Oxford in 83, in 84, we won all the junior cups, I won everything in 84.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I played for Oxford in a junior cup final, and that was my getting introduced to Oxford, and staying in Oxford for 13, 14 years, and that was my introduction. Danny brought me along. That was my best thing for 84, was I was only 18. Playing the junior cup final, it was great, and that was, you bring me, I played for Glam at the time, and I joined you, and you kept me on, and you says, "We won't play either." Who was that again? It was against Skelton.
Shelbourne.
That's rattled through them anymore. Oh, Ace.
Hitting Hill Street.
You know what I was going to say. It's always good to be Hill Street.
Hitting Hill Street and Morphy. My favourite junior cup final was when Mark Maurice got dropped and he took it off.
My favourite cup final was the one. Remember he scored the goal, right?
Oh.
The ball was crossing. City put in a terrible ball. Put it way up in the air. I jumped too early. I had to float in the air, waiting on the ball coming over. There was people up the Dungan club. They're actually having chicken and chips ends up that day. I come down, waiting on the ball, and I headed into that. That was it.
When he did stay there, stay up there.
Well, it sounds like you just got a big head.
Tell you, Richie.
Pretty cool.
88th minute he scored that. I said nothing much. I said, "Well done, Mugger."
Your first kick was a header.
Can't argue with that.
Nah, I got
You playing that day?
he got a shoulder this game.
Yeah, first 5 minutes.
And then Burns gets sent off.
Burns got sent
Burns gets
off.
sent off.
It dislocated your shoulder now. Dislocated your shoulder.
Just then.
Probably a bit, get a bit ready.
No, that match it's a great header, Nico. But Seeley's corner was put it on it. He
Seeley
called
sealed
for it,
the
he
deal.
got it. It was brilliant.
Martin, you were lucky that goal was captured in a photograph
Aye.
that hang in the beehive for years.
In fact, I tell you what's there, Alec.
Yeah, probably had it in the wrong place. They put it behind the bar somewhere, he never goes. Had it in the wrong place behind the bar somewhere, he never goes.
What's your next under there?
Yeah. Right, boys, for all the memories, for all the victories, for all the wins, for all the trophies, for all the cups, the away day stories, the memories, there's bound to be. Morris has touched on one there at Coleraine, is that what you were at?
Yeah, very.
Yeah, anybody want to elaborate on that story?
The players, I'm sure anybody. Martin, do you want to say anything about that, Martin?
Yep.
He says, here, would you guys stay on? And we brought the band with us.
Yeah.
And would you stay on and play an after this crowd is coming? He said, they think they're good. He said, hold on.
That's right.
That was the sing song, never mind the football. Did.
And then sent us home with a crate full of beer.
3 crates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there was only a couple of drunk, was there?
There was still the all sell the rest of them. Really sounded the class that point.
Brilliant. So guys, we'll rattle on, just talking about obviously committees we've briefed on. The committee obviously established or come to establish what we now love as Knockgrammar Park, the Theatre of Dreams. How does this go about, and has Barry McGuigan something to do with it?
He had and he didn't know about it.
Well, give us the backstory on that.
I think the most of the money that was ever raised for Oxford was Barry McGuigan's fights. There was tickets appeared. I don't know where they came from. I'll probably put it down again to Billy Davis.
Yeah.
And they were in 3 or 4 bars, maybe more in the town, and they were £2, £3, £4.
Bought up just, they went like hotcakes.
They went like hotcakes. And there's thousands raised of McGuigan's fights, and he didn't know it. Made some money off him, so it definitely was great. But again, I don't know where the tickets from. And thinking back, as you say, had to be from Billy Davis again.
And that came to Oxford.
That came to Oxford.
There was also
We did.
there was also a neighbour of Judith McConaughey's that worked in the civil service, and he spoke to Judith and pointed us in the right direction for to get a grant for £10,000, and we got that grant, which went to help to purchase the ground here. So
That was repaying the.
We repaying it. Billy Davis.
Billy Davis
bought the ground, and we repaid him back.
He put his money where his mouth was, and without him, we wouldn't have been here today.
Absolutely, such a gift.
Wouldn't have been
Such
here
a
today.
gift.
And he didn't want the money back. There was a great man. And at the meetings, we had to get the money, and he was saying, not at all. The Osdac or the NASDA was good this month and all like that. But he got his money back, but he didn't want
well,
it
the ground that was for sale was where we're sitting at the minute, and
next door.
the next field, and I think Billy's son Patrick now, he still
own
owns
that.
the ground.
Next
So
door.
they do, you know. So
Yeah, you had to buy the 2.
Well, funny you say that. I've had a few here.
You never lost a fucking stone, done See, I got the back.
Davey, who ever won them tickets for the McGuigan fight?
Can't remember.
Were there actually tickets like?
Oh, there was. Yeah. There was those tickets.
Just ask it, like.
I think that happened for 4 or 5 fights. There was huge money off that.
All those fights up to the final.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
They showed a thing in the rainforest, and all these big bushes got pushed back, and a big gorilla put its head through, and somebody said, "Oh, there's Sam."
do you say we had?
Sad Sam, the grumpy cookers like you are.
I'll tell you a
You
story
get them back,
about Sad Sam. Every year, as you know, the committee was stood down and they elected a new committee. So the committee meeting, Sam wasn't able to go to it, but he says you can tell them I can stand, but I can't come.
That's right. That's right. Oh, aye, yep, that was right.
He served the club well as chairman.
Sorry, buddy, talking to me. Talk about the picture. There's one fella that has been mentioned and put his heart and soul in it.
Yeah.
Billy Cush.
Yeah.
I think Billy needs recognised as well. Always, man. A whole lot of them done it. But everybody has to get their thing. Billy's done more than his fair share as well.
Say, Raj referenced there picking up stones. Jerry Totten's son Gary talked to me about it recently. Like the stones you boys lifted, and this is why I wanted to do this. Raj's son's playing here. There's grandchildren playing here. Their sons have played here from your time. You know, so you have established that the amount of boys that have come through the town and come through the club, and now their families are coming through the club.
And these boys are all the forerunners of all this. These are the foundations of what's going on now.
Yeah.
And I recognise that, and everybody at the club recognises that, and you need a tilt everybody in the room, and Harry and the boys sitting here. You know, without the efforts, the 5 defeats in a row as a manager, and then to go on and all the successes, we're forever grateful and thankful. So.
Like everything, you have to start somewhere.
100%. 100%.
Oxford does, and Oxford have moved on to big things, and now it's Sunnyside, Oxford, or whatever.
Oxford Sunnyside. Oxford Sunnyside. But again, it's born out of your foundations. Yeah. So again, this is what this is born out of, celebrating that, and again, helping us then drive the club forward.
And give yourselves a big applause, boys, for what you said.
Yes, for you guys, absolutely.
Richie, you were saying there about picking stones up for the start of it. Just came to me there. They got the stones and all lifted, and they got the grass seed down, and it was going well, and then it stopped growing with a bit of a dry spell.
Yeah.
And the fine would have wrecked Oxford that they would have had to pay it if Mickey Brady had been caught, because he run the fire brigade.
There was a
to come down.
There was the bank where the stand is now was very dry when the sun came out, and it took fire.
It was lit.
It was lit up.
Right, it was lit.
So the boys came down. The boys came down. The fireman says, Becky says, we have it under control. We'll put it out. He says, but see if it's a wasted journey, would you want the pitch? I tell you,
case over that.
There was a lot of harsh words came from the fireman, I'm telling you.
And they didn't water it.
They were raging.
They didn't water it.
Unreal.
And then there was, we got it sorted anyway, it was growing rightly, and I know what you got. And I've got stuff anyway to put on it. On the grass, you could have watched it growing. I got there, got it cut, everything, put more on it and all. It came out of Regal Foods, the dried blood. Right? Put it on, and the rejects. And then somebody was playing, decided that if somebody cut themselves and fell on that and thing, so that was the end of putting the blood on it. But it made the grass grow and thickened it and everything.
Sure
well,
did.
to this day, it's still one of the few pitches in Mid-Ulster that plays week in, week out.
Yeah.
Particularly for a grass pitch. You know, there's it doesn't flood. I don't know, however you've done it, we're always the team that the game
There's
that's
plenty
on.
of drainage and all put in it, and it was.
Is that what it was? You're alright. Listen, guys, we're going to cheer things up a bit here. I give Harry some homework in advance of this, and he can't wait to insult everybody. So we're going to rattle on the Keepie Uppies thing. It's a set of questions that I put to Harry, and Harry calls it as he sees fit. So it'll hopefully get an opportunity to celebrate or commiserate or leave the room. Yeah. So we've had our homework done, Harry, right?
Well, I have gone, yeah.
So the Keepie Uppie questions, boys, and this is for Harry. And again, interject as you feel free. But so Harry, the best team you played for or managed?
This team I played for and managed was Oxford United. That's it.
Simple.
We'll agree with that.
Yes, here, Harry.
All right, best captain.
Well, well, I don't usually answer a question like that, so bluntly. But the best captain has been the first man that lifted the Junior Cup, Martin Seeley.
All right, straight in. Next one, best goal scorer
Oh Jesus!
or scorer of great goals.
It's a question I couldn't answer. I'm not taking the cards way out because I'll tell you this: when you had all these boys knocking around you, you had Brian McGeown, you had Jared McMahon, Big Bert as we called him. You had Peter Doherty, we had, and you Woodsy, and you yep. You let me finish. You had Q Flannery, who held the goal scoring record on a season with about 70-something goals, and just. But from centre forward, but it was broken by Big Bertles a couple of years later. That's right, not right. So how could you separate them boys? You couldn't separate them boys.
Different days, Harry.
You couldn't separate them, Harry, because
Wasn't been injured for a while.
Bert scored 70 goals and he missed fucking 700. He actually should have scored 770.
Mark, don't behind back.
Well, that's more blunt than I am, isn't it?
That's a wee bit blunter. Management material, you reckon?
Okay.
Right, boys, this one's going to be controversial. Best touch. Best touch.
By that you mean the fellow with the best ball control?
Absolutely. Call it what you will.
Well, I have to say this. All the boys that played for me were first-class players, and they all had great touches. That's why they got their place in this team.
Yeah, right.
What did he say? We're better, don't you?
Are you telling me I'm wrong with fucking Tony Scott? I'm Mark Rogers as well.
I don't feel it bad. I don't blame me. Right, what the fuck I'm going on?
Saying nothing do you see Gallery? Gallery was a solicitor. Saying nothing do you see Gallery?
Look, we won on Ben left back.
The Gallery, he fucking Gad Scruff.
Take your time, we'll do that again.
Right, boys, we'll rattle on. We're going to hear all night. All right, best goalkeeper.
Easy, Harry. Easy, Harry.
Well, we never had many keepers in our time. But we had 4 goalkeepers that I can think of. We had Hardy Johnson, with Davy Henney, with Remy Murray, and Jared Totten. And boys, it's the same thing. They're all good goalkeepers, and I would not try to split them boys up. I wouldn't give a name for it.
Richie, can I say something just on that? Joe Totten has a great statistic. He played in 4 junior conference and never conceded a goal. He told you that in the muscle one night?
Yep.
He told you?
I thought he'd have been here tonight. He said he wanted to get on the podcast. So.
I didn't know.
We bump with the fans,
I didn't know about you.
Well, of course. Davy, I know right. There's no goalkeeper had here. Davy Henney here, And he played for Glenavon and Glentoran. And Davy, was there any truth in the thing that you told me one night that John Coleraine came in and told you were playing for the first team because the big goalkeeper had got injured?
Albert Finlay.
Albert Finlay. And what did you do?
Put his head in his hands, his left
I can't remember that one, Harry.
You run to the toilet right away.
Oh, yes, I've done that all right. Done that right now often.
All right, we'll keep the controversy coming. Best defender.
Oh, here I go.
Boys, we're going to tell you, look, again, we had Joe Fitzsimmons and you had Tony Galway. You had Santa Hallis and Tony McAreevy.
Jamie
You had
McGill.
Shamie McGowan. And who else was there? No, Santa Hallis. Niall Morrow. I don't know, am I too far away? You can hear all right. And Niall Morrow and a big fella called McGuinness from Porty Down. But he never played very much for us. But again, there's no way I would try to separate them boys because
Different games against different players, and they were all.
they're all great players. They're all great players. So they were.
Well, we're getting name search here. We're celebrating everybody. That's what it's all about. Rattling on then, further up the field, best midfielder.
Oh.
Ready's away, saying, I ain't want to say. Yeah, what do you want? Ready's away, say, whatever the fuck you want. You say, mate, and play, oh, we're trying, we're close, look.
Again, boys.
Marty was the best midfielder.
Are you in your memory? Like, I don't care if you put me in your memory, I don't give a fuck.
Boys, it's a no only. I just refused to answer that because you had Davy Motor and you Bitsy as bra. You had the two Hendersons, Alan Martin. You had Terry O'Hagan. And Big Bird has played sometimes in centre midfield. And there's no way I could even. We Shamie Toner played in the Junior Cup, man. There's no way I could
No,
separate
you're
them.
right, Harry, because you picked the team
I'm sorry, Richie,
that you needed to play against.
Listen, these are your answers. These are 100%.
No, he's right.
They're your answers, and to say you're giving people a shout out and celebrating, so that's what it's all about. All right, best striker.
Well, I might break it in this case here.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I might break it. I wasn't going to say anything, but Morris just says he can break from the US of A. And it has to be Dennis Seeley.
Yeah.
Did you get no clap?
Oh, we did,
Right, these two are two toughies, so best left foot and best right foot.
I got up, you know, that's why, like, we used to call it the Wanderer,
How many left-footed players we had with Seeley?
Seeley again.
You had Paul Henderson. And Bisto. And very. And then you had the right-footed. You had Dave. Again, it's like
Everybody else was right foot.
you know. We had. What you asked me? The best right.
Best left foot and then best right.
The best right foot, right? Okay.
These questions are getting order.
They are. He had homework to do. He's done his homework.
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not going to say who's the best left-footed or right-footed player.
All right, let's go with player that loves a hard challenge.
Again, I'm going to answer this one. I'm going to answer this one. Father liked the hard challenge because he would soon get us back. And the nice question away was D. Lavery.
Yeah.
All right, quickest player.
Here we go. Freddie, you can stay out there.
Let me tell you, boys, there was two players who were the fastest. Forgive me if I got this wrong, but there's one night after a bit of a do or something.
Oh yes.
There was went down to the Cure Park, at Wesley Place, and there's 2 players stood out a mile, and I think it was a dead heat when everybody else was just them 2 racing. That was, you couldn't separate these boys. Peter Woods and Tony Galway.
Gallery all the time.
You mean you couldn't separate them?
They should run away from the bar, the videos.
The question's on the list, so I'm going to ask it. He might not answer it. Best all-round player.
Oh, thanks for that.
From four down.
The best all-round player is, well, I don't think anybody would disagree with this, because there's a fella playing in every position but goalkeeper for me. That was Keith Flannery.
Yeah, well, that's it.
All right, 2 more to finish to keep you uppy questions, and then we'll rattle on. So, the player that got better with age, and then the player who always gave 100%.
What's the best one?
Player that got better with age.
Excuse me, boys. Excuse me, boys.
Let's get this question answered, boys, and we'll rattle on. So, player that got better with age.
Paul Henderson.
Yeah!
No, paint. Paul. Paint.
Last question in the keep you uppy questions then, Harry. Is the player who always gave 100%.
Tony Galway.
Only hit.
Did all of them not give 100%?
Did you?
Yeah, but I asked a question.
Did.
What was Danny City's biggest problem? His mouth.
Who did I say that?
Huh?
The player who always gave 100%.
Give them 100%.
I like to think all my players give 100% for me when I on the football pitch.
Right answer.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Why you still a politician?
I'm getting you writing in about me Facebook.
Right, boys, that's the end of the keep you uppy questions. We have one last.
Richie, can you just ask
Sorry.
who Harry feels chased back the most? There's only one answer.
Who chased back the most?
Oh, chase back.
Messi fucking chasing back.
Paul, that's a fantastic segue. Fantastic segue. I have a question here. I'm going to put it to Harry, and then we'll open it up to the room. So we're going to end all conversations, all discussions. Right? Pele, Maradona, Ronaldo or Messi?
Pele.
So Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi.
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
You all agree? Brilliant. Is Lisa out there, Brian? Tell her I want her a wee second.
Martin or Paul?
Lisa, we're going to be... The plan is, boys, to finish this, tie this up with singing the old Oxford song. Yeah. But before we do that, and Maurice is going to lead us in the song. Right, Maurice, you're going to take the lead here and kick us on. Boys, thank you for your time. Yeah, this will all be posted out to you all. You'll all get a copy.
Support
Was that all right?
Where's Auburn learning, eh? Where's Auburn learning? Nobody's actually obviously.
Don't worry, Morris, we're all going to join in and help you out.
I don't think we'll need a help more.
No.
Okay.
But just join in with the chorus.
It's just for the recording, it's not amplified, so give it a blast. You help more side.
Down here in Lurgan,
There's a wee football team. It's in the mid-Ulster that they can be seen. They play all their football with flair and right skill. And you know at the death they'll be in for the kill. Yes they will, yes they will. You know at the death they'll be in for the kill. You can talk of Rough Ryland, Hill Street and Loughgall, but Oxford United are champions of all. They've beaten the big and they've beaten the small. And here in Mid-Ulster United walk tall. They walk tall, they walk tall. And here in Mid-Ulster United walk tall. Now most opposition, they're tough and they're mean, but never a match for this fine Oxford team. They played Bangor Old Boys at Seaview one night, and the boys from the seaside did they get a fright. What a fright, what a fright. And the boys from the seaside did they get a fright. It's 36 years since this cup came to town. Oh, Oxford United, please don't let us down. We'll clap and we'll sing, and when you score we'll cheer, and go back to the beehive and sup up our beer. And we'll cheer, and we'll cheer, and go back to the beehive and sup up our beer. It's now 2 years later, and it's our claim to fame. Oh, Oxford United have done it again. With the league like the seal and the cup all abreast, we go down in the history as surely the best. We're the best, we're the best. We go down in history as surely the best. Now Sealy came home from the US of A to line out with Oxford on Cup final day, to play a big ball right up Belfast. Well, the Oxford got one and the Belfast got none. Here we go. Well, the Oxford got United, the Belfast got none. That's it.
On behalf of Oxford Sunnyside, our thanks to Maurice. Maurice has written us our song, our anthem. I don't know if Maurice realised when he wrote it that 30 years later we'd still be singing it. And if he'd have got the royalties off it, it'd have been worth a fortune. Can I just give you this? And we're going to put this in its private place underneath Nicky. This is the words of our song.
Nico, let someone else do something as well, but Nico can't reach.
There you go.
But make sure you can jump.
Whip the board.
Brilliant.
And that's one for you yourself.
We'll get the words right for you, Morris.
For the man himself. And I have another wee thing here to give you. That's from everyone here at Oxford Sunnyside.
Brilliant.
For coming tonight, because I don't know if you boys realise it, but you are the roots and the foundation of our club. We started off with you. Now we have 450 kids playing here. 5 girls teams with children from every religion, every nationality, all playing here because you boys started off something. So this is a night for our appreciation to you. So
Thank you. Sorry, Christo, before you shoot off, I don't want you to shoot off. The ceremonies haven't finished yet. I want you all to go outside. There's a wee thing to be done. Before you want to go outside, the gentleman wants to say a few words.
Martin wants to say something here. No, Paul.
I give a study man himself and Paul go outside.
Right.
Paul, I give a study man himself right here.
Well, the Slavry played here for years, managed for a few years, and it was an honour, first of all, to be asked down to Harry Dickson's night. An honour. An honour.
Right there, yep, right.
What Harry done in my time was unbelievable. And this club has grew, and it's just a privilege to be here for this night. And I say, cheers to Harry Dickson.
Well done, Harry.
Boys, before we shoot off,
Give
Paul,
me
your presentation to make. Go on ahead.
Richie.
On behalf of the boys from Oxford, all this here, just for Paddy and Harry, just a wee thing. It's a framed photograph of me, that there. Hey, Halloween's not over yet.
Can I talk to that, mate?
Yeah, you talk to your owner. Go on ahead. Boys, just give us a second.
Thanks. Thanks very much, Steve, for your kind words. But what I'm going to tell you is this: if you boys hadn't have done the stuff out in the field, I wouldn't have counted. But we're to tell you, Jack Stein once says, "There's a white line there. I can talk them blue in the face, and nobody go in that line. They can do anything they want." But I have to say this: when you went over the white line, you done what I told you to do. And thank you very much. Thanks, boys. And I want to thank all the present day committee here, of all going on around here, because I think it's been absolutely brilliant night so far.
So far, boys. Just don't shoot over. Can I ask everybody now, if you don't mind, to make your way out to the stand outside, to cross that white line that Harry's talking about? If you can all go outside, please.
All right,
You going out that way, you bring them out the back way, or you bring them
What? Brilliant. What's that? I'd sit here with Harry.
Richie, bring Jordan McNally or something, get them in through the two, we do not know.
We'll get them all in shortly.
We'll open these up, kid, and see what's in them.